Just got done with some basic training, and I was doing this video while I was doing my walk time while I was finishing up. I calculate now my walking with my runs. Anyway, I was doing it outside. It started raining a little bit, not too bad. Doesn't bother me, but I got a crack in my phone, so I figured I'd do it in here. It's kind of cleared up now. Anyway, I had a couple other things on my mind with the upcoming podcast and things I wanted to talk about. This is like some things, it just keeps coming back right in front of me, and it made me focus more in on this, and because I see this so common on social media and in day-to-day life. And again, I got 3 or 4 topics I was going to discuss, but I'm going to go this one first because this is fresh on my mind. So if you know me, you know one of the things I'm a very detailed and thorough and specific person. Everything's not black and white. It's not, and this is any category of life. I think a lot of people leave the details out of stuff. They don't tell all the backstory, and sometimes there's not a need for that, but sometimes there is. Unless I know the person, if I know the person, just like a couple or anything, then I can speak on that. If I don't know them, then I can't speak on that. That's the way we should. That's a frame of mind we should have. But we often don't know the formula on things. I'm real big about knowing the formula. The true formula, the backstory, the truth, not the twisted version of it. So, if you know me, one of the things I do and the people I follow and network with, again, right now, very small scale, is I do the David Goggins challenges. I was on to him before he ever became that popular. If you know me, you know that. Also, Cam Haynes, which is a good friend of his. You only really know this if you listen to Joe Rogan, you know who these guys are. If you're an ultra endurance athlete, anything in the ultra community, or you're a hunter, you know these people. Again, they're the less than 1%. So one thing I've been seeing floating around. The one thing Cam talks about is it must be nice. He has a shirt that says that no one cares, work harder. I live by those methods. One of the things I've been seeing on social media a lot is it must be nice. I'm going to give it to you in a nutshell. When you see people that have nice things, primarily this is targeted towards financial success. And let me remind you, success is relevant to the person's journey and purpose. Not that struggling and being broke or poor is fun, because it's not. But we often only acknowledge financial success. People are on different journeys in this life. People are on different missions. If you can have all of it, then that's great. In a nutshell, you see stuff like, it must be nice. You didn't see the 12 to 16, 18-hour days. You didn't see the lack of family time. The work, again, this is a condensed version. Working a full-time job, maybe going to school, doing your side hustle, working 2 or 3 jobs, late nights, frustrations, sacrifices, on down the list. Insert where necessary. Now, with saying that, that can be very true. I've been making sacrifices my whole life. My entire life. Not maybe, but at the time I was making some of them, I wasn't who I am now. It wasn't directed in the right direction. I'm speaking for a lot of people. But to say, if you do all of those things, that the result is most definitely financial success per scale, depending on what your goals are, what your revenue is. To say that if you do these XXX, this happens, and this is the result, that's so misleading. Again, take this and apply it however you want to. Now, I see people post this, And some of the people I see posted, some of them I don't know. I see it shared from something else. Some of them are just acquaintances or we're on social media together. And some of them are friends. Some of them are classmates. Some of them are people I care about that I respect. And I don't respect and hardly trust anyone. The reason I don't trust people, because I know people. And then the second reason is because I don't know people. It's very few. I don't base anything off of what our income is, what our social class is, what our color is, what our sexual preference is, what our religious background is. Unfortunately, some of you say that you don't, but you do. Same reason we ask people what they do for a living. I'm not going to get into that. I'm doing a podcast on that too. We ask people what they do for a living so we can decide what category we're going to put them in and how much respect to give them. We decide how intelligent they are oftentimes based off of how much they make and what they do for a living. Y'all know y'all do it. If you don't, you know now. Again, the reason I brought this up is because everyone cannot mix the same ingredients of sacrifice, discipline, work ethic, doing without, self-education, school education, not to be confused with intelligence. And school education and a degree doesn't necessarily mean financial success either. Let me remind you again, some of you have a school education that I know personally, and you are successful, reasonably successful in business. You know who you are. You're thrown off by the amount of intelligence and experience that we have, the amount of self-education that we have. Instead of working with us, you make us a problem. I say that to say this. If that was the case, now again, I know what people, especially people I know that are successful and intelligent, they're going to say maybe they don't know what to do with their money. Maybe they don't. They got to quit getting the mind, having the mind frame of a blue collar worker. They don't know how to spend their money. They don't know how to manage their money. Wrong people in their life, habits. Go down the list. I say the same thing. It matters a lot of things. It matters your starting point in life. Who do you have as a support team then and now? What kind of family you came from? How much help you had? How many steps did you skip? Some people had none of those things, and they are that. Respect. And some of them are they're going to make sure they leave out that shit when they're offering other people advice and offer them an experience. It's easy to say that when you're in a position, and it doesn't mean you did not work hard and sacrifice. But just because you do these things doesn't mean that that's the result. The results vary. Everyone doesn't get to mix the same ingredients and get the same results. That's like saying every person, if that was the case, if we got what we really deserved in this life, this world will look a lot of people that struggle and do without, that are hard-working, good people. I mean, no malicious intent, that are reasonable with their money, that have a drive, they have the ambition, whether they think like an entrepreneur or not. They would be in a significantly different position. And a lot of people that are in those positions right now that we know, again, only can speak if we know the people. And I can speak on some of them, both ways. And I know my own journey as well. I can reflect back and understand where I would have been if I'd have had the right people in my life, if I'd have made different investments. No doubt, don't mean it's over with. But also, too, I'm on a different journey. And my purpose and my mission is different. And there's a lot of undeserving people in those positions. And there's a lot of people who deserve it that's not in those positions. And they may never be in that position. The self-education and the experience I've gained in the last 10 years far outweighs what I ever learned in the first 30 something years of my life. I can't even compare it. It's a landslide. And people are taken back by that, by people like us. And I'm going to tell you something else I thought about. And I just learned this, not even 10 years. I've learned this. It's came to light recently. If you're around success, they say if you're around 5 millionaires, you'll become the 6th. That could be true. But then again, there's people out there not asking for a handout. They don't want it. We're talking about networking. Talk about successful people making other successful people around them, helping them, support, networking, making the arrangement, elevating each other. If you have enough to where you can provide a lot on a big table, make your table bigger. A lot of people preach that shit that I know personally, but that's not what they do. There's a lot of people out there that want a handout. There's some people that don't. They want to network. So let me tell you this, and I'll get into details of this later. There are those people out there that will support. They're a good support team. They're the right people to have in your corner, the right team to be on each other's team. The person that's here and the person that's here, they don't make you feel like you're here. You're on a team. You build people up so y'all can build each other people up together. So on, so on. It's the way it should be. A lot of times, if you're around people who are here that are financially successful, if that's what we're going by, because that's not what I go by, you can be around these people every damn day. They can have the facts in front of them of your work ethic, your commitment, your ambition, your leadership, your drive, your relentless effort to do better in every aspect of your life. Health, wealth, family, knowledge. Trying to start something for yourself and still putting in the work in every aspect of your life. You can be around, I can tell you for a fact, you can be around people every day. If they view you as any kind of threat or they're just the slightest bit intimidated by you, let me tell you what they won't do. This is particularly common among my race. This is a white guy, a middle-aged white guy saying this. People here that have that mentality, and you're here or way down here, they don't want to invest down. They don't want to be a part of the process. They want to invest in something that's already there. That way they get a return. It does not matter how much potential or how much true facts are in front of them with people. I can say myself or anyone. They want something that a lot of these people, doesn't mean that, again, I'm going all across the board here, doesn't mean they all came from money. It doesn't mean that they came from privileges. It doesn't mean they didn't. Most of these people came in with a built-in manufactured network. That's the truth. Family, connections, whatever it was. Again, could be one of those things, could be all of those things. They don't want to hassle with it. Most of the time, these people are only going to network with people that already where they're at, it has to be close. They could close that gap easy. Where they're at or higher. They consider everyone else a liability. They want to be a part of the result. They do not want to be a part of the process. Some of us are around millionaires on a regular basis, consistently. Not just here, maybe friends. It doesn't have to be workplace or anything. It doesn't mean shit. You have to see, doesn't mean it can't turn into something. Most of the time, these people, if they view you as a threat or intimidated in any way, they're not going to invest in you. Let me tell you something else. Regardless of money or material things, real alpha males, not fake alpha males, no matter what they have, what comforts and luxuries they have, most deep down, men crave to be warriors. So it doesn't matter what you're able to get. No, again, people are going to hate. Haters always make time. Never let haters think they don't have time. That's what the fuck they do. To say that we hear other things, people up here don't have time to people hate at the bottom. That's not entirely true. Most of the time, there's people who are on their journey and their mission and their purpose like me, I don't have time for that stuff. It's just how stuff clicks for me. They don't want to see what some people are capable of if they get them resources. And they get some of the same tools they have because they know that we're dangerous. We know that we'll actually change stuff. They want stuff to remain the same because they have something to gain by it. That's why all these families are connected. That's the truth. I mean, it's smart. But if you're even close to our age, give or take 10 years, and you've been in a community, in an area, and you've been a legit person your whole life, people know that. They've witnessed it over and over in every aspect of your life. None of them connections and network are going to come now. I had to realize that. Even though I knew better, I still even had to check myself. And And then if it comes along now, it doesn't even sound believable. That's the way I look at it. It's not real. That's why for a lot of us to let you know, your support is going to come from people you don't know or barely know. And it takes longer. Same thing with that. It must be nice. That result is different for everybody, and depending on the formula, starting point, and along the way, that time, that result also is different as far as a time frame, how old you are, how long it takes. Again, I've said this in a lot of podcasts. I feel like my life's went in reverse. Where people think I should be now, I probably was in my late 20s or 30. And where I'm at now, like I said, where I'm at now is where I should have been at in my late 20s or 30s, and it's reversed. I would risk everything again. I don't have no regrets on that. I would do it again. Again, I wouldn't be on this journey with everything I'm doing if I wasn't. But what I'm saying, no matter how many comforts, luxuries, cars, house, toys you have, real men, they crave to be a warrior. They crave to be a fucking soldier in life. They want to do tough shit. But the more comfortable you make yourself, even if you look good, even if you're in shape, the more comfortable you make yourself, and the more luxuries you have, and the more civilized you become, the more fucking soft you become. That's the truth. I'm going to discuss all these in the podcast. Man, y'all stay humble. Live savage.